Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to our podcast, The Gameplan. My name is Micah,
My name's Kris.
and today we have a long list of stories to talk about, majority from the NFL and the NBA Player Association. But first, let's give you quick updates from Kris on different leagues going around.
Why should I give updates? We all know what's going to happen. Why should I talk about Messi trying to leave Barcelona? Why should I talk about the NBA playoffs are not happening anymore? MLB games are gone. NFL. There's been some signings. But,
We'll talk about those signings then.
well, I'm just going to my hometown team, San Francisco 49ers. They know that they lost a lot of wide receivers, so they picked up former first-rounder picks Tavon Austin and Kevin White are just signed to the team, hoping to make the 53-man roster, or even now the practice squad, which has been extended, and there's no minimum or maximum years of playing, so you can have a 9-year vet on that practice squad, which is really cool. I like that for this year.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully that could stay for future years instead of having vets on the street or in the $1 million houses.
Yep. Well, with NFL news out of the way, we'll talk about the NBA playoffs real quick before yesterday's events happened. Game 5, Kawhi Leonard and PG showed up finally. Series is now 3-2. We don't know if the playoffs will continue in the NBA now due to players' actions, coaches' actions, league actions. It doesn't seem right at this time, but we'll get into that later in this podcast.
Yeah, we will talk all about all the stuff that's going on this week in sports. But let's just think something about a little more worldwide. About Lionel Messi, I just mentioned that a little bit ago. He's requested to leave Barcelona after their team kind of had a humiliating loss in the Championship League.
Yep.
Micah, what do you think? Do you follow soccer or anything?
I follow. Hold on, let me get the share screen up for our. This one.
Well, I feel like everyone knows about Leo Messi, and if you don't know, you're probably an American. Hey.
Well, I mean, he's been a part of Barcelona for many years.
His life.
Basically, in his entire life. Signed with Barcelona when he was 16, as this article says. Down.
Messi has been with them because he was part of the youth camp.
Yeah.
He was the star of Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
He's won MVPs with them, or whatever they call it in the EuroLeague.
Mm-hmm.
He's helped them go to the championships.
Yep.
But lately, Barcelona has not been performing to what their standards used to be.
Yep.
And Messi knows he's coming to his end of his career. He's already getting 33 years old, if I'm not mistaken.
He looks good for 33.
And he knows it's going to be a long rebuild in Barcelona if he wants to stay there.
Yeah.
So right now, his contract in his contract, he had an option to opt out of the remaining years of his multi-million contract, which was like worth almost $100 million a year. I picked the wrong sport to play.
Yeah, well,
but that was back at the end of May. But due to COVID, some people are saying that it may have been extended because soccer was for a little bit canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been talks of where he'll end up now. There's many suitors out there. If you guys have looked into this article, Micah has shared onto the screen.
So yeah, well, talking about the article, Barcelona actually confirmed to the media that he does want it out. But the last contract that he signed in 2017 that Kris is talking about lasts until 2021. But Messi and his lawyers or his legal team found that as Kris said, there is a clause within his contract that says if Messi communicates with Barca that he would be able to search out different clubs that he want to go to. But if it was out of the time frame that, such as like an off season or free agent season, like different leagues in the U.S., other teams would have to pay over $700 million in order to acquire Messi, which I don't know
if the money.
That is a lot of fucking money, but they have it. Like Euro leagues, Premier leagues, La Liga, they all have this type of money just within their own club. Um, the decision was due, as Kris said, to the loss against Bayern Munich, who is the world champion, the recent world champion winner of the Champion League. And within the article, it talks about different places that he would look to go. One of the suggested ones was to go to Manchester City.
Oh,
Not
that
a
was
bad
Manchester United.
Manchester City.
Manchester City, huh?
Yep.
All my
And
reports have been saying that Manchester United has been the forefront on this.
uh,
So, well, he wants to go to Manchester one way and the other.
well, that's just a possibility. The other
It is a
possibility
possibility. There's
is,
so many different teams out there.
yeah,
And
and yet,
even I saw in some of my sources with the MLS have said that they are trying to entice him to come out here to finish his career and
yeah,
make
to play in the
buckets of cash.
MLS. But
With
that
the
is just
recent soccer star David Beckham expanding a team in Miami, be one option for him, bring a superstar out there like he did towards the end of his career with the LA Galaxy.
yeah. I think it just depends on because the World Cup is going to come to the U.S. in 2026, which means more money is going to be circulated throughout the American League, more so the MLS, and as well as just the American economy in general. I think it is a risk for Messi to come to MLS, first of all, because he's played that style or a more European style of soccer within Europe, more primarily within his career. But um, I don't know. It might turn out well if he does decide to come to MLS. But one of the one of the controversial, not even controversial, um, favored turnouts for him would be for him to team up with Ronaldo.
Oh,
It
yeah, I
doesn't have to
didn't
be a
think about
Juventus
that.
either, but it the article talks about pay cuts being had for both stars and have a not buyout, guarantee wages for everyone and not just the two star Messi coming to team up with Ronaldo. So what do you think about that team up between Ronaldo and Messi?
That is an interesting team up right there because you have two of the faces of soccer practically
Yeah,
to team up on a team. It's having, let's say, LeBron James playing together with, I don't know, Steph Curry right now.
Jesus, that oh my
You
god,
got to think the two faces of like a league
yeah,
playing together are having an outfield consist of baseball fans,
hmm
Mike Trout, Aaron Judge, and let's go Fernando Tatis.
hmm
You're just putting all these stars. It'll take a lot of money and a lot of convincing for these players
yeah,
to even come. My guess for Messi, which for me, 100%, I never thought he would ever leave Barca. I thought he was going to live and die with that club.
well, that's what everyone said about Real Madrid and Cristiano Ronaldo, but you know how that
Yeah, but
turned.
Ronaldo, I see more looking for the money.
Yeah.
I never thought he was going to last.
Oh,
But
okay.
I think Messi's going to go to any of the Britain teams out there.
Interesting.
I
Maybe
can't remember
want to
what
work
league
with
it is.
LeBron, the Premier League,
There we go, the Premier League. I feel like he wants to go to the Premier League. Premier League is really
join
one of the established
join
leagues out
LeBron's team,
there.
Liverpool.
Liverpool, Arsenal. No, he's not going to go to Arsenal. Sorry to my Arsenal fans. I know your team well. I followed them for a little bit. But I think he may go to Manchester or Manchester United. Those have been the rumored teams in the past few days. But we don't know what's going to happen upcoming for Messi, if he's going to have his opt-out granted to him or a team has to fork over transfer fee money.
A lot of money. Yeah, I think um, your guess is as good as mine. What it really just caught my eye was the chance of Ronaldo and Messi teaming up, actually, with so many years of battling against each other. It's basically like Neymar Jr. when he first joined Barca, but then left to go to Real Madrid, right? Yeah,
No, he
no.
was at Barca and he went to an Italian in the La Liga lead.
Oh, well, it's kind of like that. Like, that's how my head is thinking is like, what if these two actually come together and actually play? But we'll never know until the actual confirmed news comes out.
Well, in other sports, talking about moving from one team to another, Pat McAfee moved on to the WWE, maybe?
Do you watch
What?
WWE?
No. Ever since that line was
Never.
faked?
Wait,
No,
what?
it's fake.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I knew my cousins watched it when I was a kid. My mom's like,
What fake wrestler do you know that gets forked over $24 million a year?
The Rock?
He's not in wrestling.
He was.
He was. He's not.
I don't know. I don't follow in sport enough. I just know how much drama can there be in a sports world every week on Monday nights.
Well, okay. Now you're just being ignorant. They go on daily. They go on daily shows. What they have with the contract is what they name themselves. But in this case, with the article that I pulled up from ESPN, Pat McAfee on WWE debut, he faced Adam Cole, who is part of the third brand within WWE.
Yeah, he's in WWE next.
NXT.
NXT.
Yeah.
Next. I took one letter. I put a letter in. But if you guys don't know what NXT is or who, I forgot his name. Adam
Cole.
Adam Cole is. He is kind of the face of that whole league.
Mm-hmm.
He was the championship a couple years ago.
Yep.
And this whole fight started with Pat McAfee inviting Adam Cole to his podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And towards the end of the thing, Pat McAfee is kind of like half jokingly around, like making fun of Adam and the whole next thing. And Adam Cole just flipped out, started yelling, and since then, it's just been a thing on Twitter. Pat McAfee always just jokes around. He's announced a few of the NXT tournaments, and the last one before this fight happened, he was there. Adam and Pat met up, I guess, but then during the announcement, when McAfee was going out there talking about the wrestling, he still made fun of Adam. They got into a fight. He got kicked out, and this is what I'm getting secondhand stuff. So I don't know how much this is true. They started a fight.
No, this is all true. Yeah, I can confirm it. You did your research. I like it.
Oh, my research just watching Pat McAfee show.
Oh,
shout out to my boy Pat.
Well, okay. Let's start from the beginning where Kris started. Yes, Pat McAfee did invite Adam Cole to his show, to his podcast, and then the whole entire scene happened where Adam Cole flips out, and then I think the next episode, it was the COO of WWE came on, who runs NXT, and he tells Pat McAfee that he likes to poke fun at people, and that's how he is. Like, he likes to egg on people, and Adam Cole is not that type of person that he likes to be bullied. But I think that just added more to the storyline. Yes, he has done commentating, and he has done promos on NXT, primarily just NXT. He hasn't gone on to, aside from when, I think it was 2 years ago or 1 year ago, I don't remember, where during Survivor Series, which is a pay-per-view show for WWE, he was on NXT side, but now he's just, a commentator and whatnot. But I think I watched the highlight video, and Pat McAfee he's obviously an athlete, but he can fucking move.
He has some moves.
Yeah, he can move. Like on this,
he had a few of his teammates, a few friends that have been boxing and has been training him for the past couple of weeks.
Yep.
His co-host Agent Hawk was there training him.
Yep. Darius Butler.
Yeah, his former teammate.
Like this move, like him jumping off the top rope. Like, this is what he got his inspiration from. WWE superstar Jeff Hardy, where he just jumps off the front rope, top rope, lands on a pile of guys so that they cushion his fall. But this is like as impressive as it gets for a celebrity to actually, have one match in WWE.
Well, the old saying goes, punters are people too.
I was actually very impressed. He held his own. This highlight right here. Oh, come on. Oh, it's on Twitter. Come on, come on, come on. This highlight shows just how athletic Pat McAfee is, and he does a backflip and lands it. He says inside of the article that he's never landed an actual backflip before, which I thought was a um,
Fake.
a little fake, because obviously I can't land a backflip, but like someone as athletic as Pat McAfee or even Adam Cole or any of the WWE superstars, they should be able, because it's acrobatics as well as showmanship. So if you're saying that you weren't able to land a backflip before, I call cap, because I think you're just an athlete. You're a natural born athlete.
No, we all know what Pat McAfee did on the football field, landing balls inside the 5-yard line, making it look easy.
You're having a great ass leg.
So I 100%. What do you think? Do you think this was all set up by WWE?
Oh, for sure, 100%. When WWE either seeks out talent or seeks out an idea, they go for someone within, just like any other company. They go within the company first, and then they start expanding out. But Pat McAfee was there before, but I think he was a good addition. Will it bring a new career in WWE? Probably not, but
He's
probably,
signed so much money with Barstool. He's set.
yeah.
And then with his FanDuel thing, if you didn't see the video, they landed a $100,000 deal
with FanDuel
for
Ooh.
a few years, and he came with a bag of money to all his crew for his Pat McAfee show and gave them $10,000 each.
Damn. Yeah, I don't watch the show that much. I just watched it primarily for that segment.
Yeah, I only see highlights because, as I said, Pat McAfee was a great punter.
Yep.
He was probably my favorite punter in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sad when he retired, thinking, I mean, he was still young in his career. He had plenty of time to make more money, but he decided to move on and is doing great in his radio show, his podcast.
Yep.
His entertainment career, practically.
Yeah, basically. All right. I mean, with all excitement out of the way, we talked about the NBA playoffs before we started talking about other topics within the podcast that we want to talk about. Two headlines that came up immediately the beginning of the week. Raptors discussed boycotting Game 1 within the semifinals versus the Celtics after police shooting in Wisconsin, and Detroit Lions canceled practice to protest police shooting in Wisconsin.
This was the start of so many dominoes falling in the next couple of days. So this was, I want to say, Tuesday, which happened when they discussed boycotting Game 1 and the Lions canceling practice, if I'm correct.
I think so, yes.
That was Tuesday, August 25th. Yep. And now today we're on August 27th, and so much has happened just 48 hours.
Yep.
If you want to talk about what's happening right now in the NBA in just the last 48 hours, Micah, I'll let you have the floor.
Well, I pull up the article right now. I want to say it was Monday, the event or the incident.
It happened over the weekend, I want to say.
Sunday. It was Sunday afternoon then.
Sometime this past week.
Yeah, or this past weekend. Another African American man, Jacob Blake, was wrongfully shot by Kenosha, right? That's how you say it, Kenosha?
Oh, no, I'm not from Wisconsin.
Well, Kenosha, Wisconsin. I thought you would research this as well.
I did research. I don't know how to pronounce words. This is why I'm in sports.
Google Translate on here. You can.
Okay, we're getting off topics.
Yeah, from Kenosha, Wisconsin, home of the Milwaukee Bucks and the Raptors, who swept. Who was it? It doesn't really matter. Who swept the team before in the prior series, and the Celtics, who swept the 76ers that we talked about in the last podcast. The Raptors were talking about boycotting Game 1 in the next series, and as suit followed, Milwaukee Bucks boycotted playing yesterday's game. So followed the Orlando Magic, who played against them, then the Rockets and the Thunder, the Lakers series, the Clippers series, and they had a great big discussion about boycotting the rest of the playoffs. But from this article, the Raptors are talking about boycotting the second round of games between the Raptors and Celtics. From Fred, quote from Fred VanVleet. We knew coming out or not coming out here was not going to stop anything, but I think ultimately playing or not playing puts pressure on somebody. Celtics players shaking about shootings as well. Quote from Brad Stevens, the Boston Celtics coach. He says, obviously, our thoughts go to Jacob Blake and his family. And obviously, that video was horrifying. That video was awful. And to think of 3 kids being in that car is like, that makes you shaken, right? It's ridiculous. We've talked about it as a team and just how we feel. We haven't talked about it enough, but obviously everybody is shook. Monday night, LeBron James posted something on his multiple platforms of social media, and he said, "We are scared as Black people in America, Black men, Black women, Black kids. We are terrified." And I think this comes full circle to where Kyrie talked about earlier in the playoffs, or even before the playoffs began, or the bubble began in general, of there's something bigger than just playing basketball. And yesterday was a great example within sports, that there's something more out there in society, some issue that is bigger than sports. The WNBA postponed all their games played yesterday and today, from a headline that I got this morning on ESPN. The MLS postponed. As Kris will talk about, you talk about the Detroit Lions and possibly the future of NFL or NFL practices and where it's going. There was another post that I saw on our other coworkers' story talking about the NHL, and he's a Sharks player, one of African American descent. And he says he's hurt on how slow or on the non-existent approach of how the NHL is taking this social justice matter, and he's really hurt by this matter. But Kris, what do you think about the Detroit Lions canceling practice, and did you read the entire article?
Well, no, I didn't read the entire article. I watched it on ESPN.
That makes sense.
So I had to make a joke, something keep it light. I want to bring up something about basketball. The Lions did cancel practice, and several other teams have canceled practice throughout this week. But sports, I'm going to bring up this article that I read from the Warriors for Draymond Green and how he responded to Sports Can't Wait.
Yep.
He talked about how sports is a business. He knows that it's a business. And sports being pushed back, is it because it's just a sport, like it's a game? Or he's been looking at it as a business. So sport as a game, yes, we all played it. We played it as young, and these guys are playing at the highest level possible. But it's also a business where people are working there. So I don't know, this is kind of a weird time. Right now, there's no fans, so there's no ushers, there's no vendors. A lot of major league staff, front office staff are out of job or being home right now. So I don't know how it should affect if this was in real life. How many people will also be affected just because the team wants to cancel it. I know this is bad. I applaud their little stunt they did to bring awareness and to help to show that the ownership, like, hey, you guys have to do something. But Micah, you and me have been working in sports for a while. If we were working and the team decided to cancel a game, would we get paid? Because it's trickled down a lot. So they say cancel the games. We're out of job for 3 or 4 days. Other people are out of job. All sorts of incomes are gone. I know I'm sounding like a bad guy here, but I want to get your thoughts on this. I was just thinking about this after all these boycotts in the MLB, the WNBA, the NBA, NHL, NFL practices being canceled.
Is my thing going? Yeah. Okay. You said it was like a stunt. I think it's.
Well, I know it's a bad choice of words, a stunt, but their actions that.
You think it's like a small victory, kind of? Because
I don't even
like
know if it's a victory.
symbolism, symbolism, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what Shannon Sharp said on Undisputed. It's like some things are meant as symbolism, some other things are meant to actually show action. I think this wasn't this wasn't meant to show symbolism in a way, and it like the league needs to notice. I mean, the players notice. Like, much the majority percentage of people of race within both leagues of the NBA and the NHL are African American, and if you as a league do not see their needs and um, see their issue with other in social injustices within society, then you are also part of the problem. Because yes, it is a business, but at the same time, you need to show that you care about people.
Well,
Because
they've donated millions and almost close to billions of dollars
that's a
to funds.
that's outside of your league. You see what I'm saying?
How's that outside the league?
Outside of the league, it doesn't pertain to your players. This is what I'm trying to defend the players in a way and their actions as you try to defend the the league. You know what I'm
Yes,
talking about?
I know what you're talking about. And like me and Micah, like if you guys are watching, we're both on the same page here. This is
Yeah,
a really hard time for a lot of people.
yeah.
But I just
We're
kind
just
of
trying to
want to
come to an
like figure
understanding.
out a understanding
Yeah,
between how can just one group of players, like the LA teams had said that they wanted to for not forfeit but leave and give up on the playoffs because they think it doesn't matter. But it does affect a lot of other people's lives. I know they're trying to make a stand, try and bring change. They're trying to reform this country of how it has fallen and the racism that has been going throughout this country for hundreds of years. But
yeah,
it just there's a
yes.
lot of stuff that the league can't change the whole country, can they?
No, they can't. Then I don't think any single business can or any signal. Um,
So I don't understand how these players think the ownership can change everything in a week or
I
in
don't
a
think
month or
I
whatever.
don't think the players think that the ownership can. It's they're trying to change. They're just trying to change the perspective and the social injustices. Um, like they all have this platform, and so do the teams. But the team the team has so much of an ethical standpoint to and an ethical baseline to stay under or stay over, and you know the players they go out into the community, they people see their faces and they relate those players with the organization, um, so and those players have not more of a responsibility but more of a voice within the community. So I mean, as you said, they want to postpone the playoffs, and I think they personally, as a basketball player, obviously no, but as a human who would like to see no one's life being taken away from shots of a gun or just being brutally beaten, um, I say yes because they have a responsibility as people to take care of others and not and it goes further than that of sports. So
But
um,
like if this just sports, like let's move to a normal business. Let's say all the people decide to walk out of business.
mhm,
Because as what I said, I bring up the article of Draymond Green, he said that this is a job they have. They are employees almost of the
yeah,
business.
yeah.
And their contract says that they play to make money.
Mhm.
In a normal business, your contract is, let's say you're working in sales to make the sales calls. If you stop work, say like, oh, I'm done with work because of the structure, my business hasn't done enough to do structure change.
Now I see what you're saying.
Yes, now you kind of see I should have let it off with this a little bit more.
Yeah.
They could just almost find someone
I,
else to replace you.
yeah, they always could. But let me put this in perspective of a university, a huge ass university. Um, let's just say, let's just say COVID-19 wasn't a thing, and school was starting right now. Like everyone was in school, I was in school, and we're all at our university, and this incident happens. Um, Regardless of what student or what the university does, I think I think I would speak for many students of color that I'm not. Let me know if you agree with this. I'm trying to
Go
find the
ahead.
words, but
Yeah,
do
it's
you
tough right
think
now.
do you think that that if students were to walk out of class, walk out of university, if they barely did anything to talk about the social injustices outside of the university, do you think that it would impact, and they had a boycott of school, do you think that it would impact, it would be in their best interests to go out there and support in support of the situation with their students, or do you think it would be the best idea to bring in more students to replace those students and probably um, discontinue those students registration to those universities, because that would just
Damn,
create more problems?
damn, that's a good
Analogy?
little analogy. There's another word for it. I'm blinking
Comparison?
on it. Yeah, I think that's the word I was thinking of.
So yeah, it creates
It
more
is a
problems.
tough, but like there's a lot of stuff that this country has been in. There's one thing that runs this country. That's money at the end of the line.
That is true.
It doesn't matter how much money you can make. There's someone's always going to be making more than you. It doesn't matter what you do.
Hmm.
Because the school, you said, like, if the students walk out, the school's already got your money.
Yeah.
There's nothing walking away from that. You can't take your money back from them.
Yeah, but there that
Like,
would in that
it would
it
look bad
would
for the university,
it would.
yes.
Yeah.
It would look very bad. But
It's
again,
just hard
like,
to
it would be a year of what, no students come back next year. Someone wants to come to that school.
yeah.
They
It's
know
just
the history of it.
hmm
They were bounce back almost.
hmm it's just hard to talk about. It's not hard. It's just difficult to
Find the right words to
find the
say.
right words and have an actual decent conversation like we're having. I mean, we had, obviously, you guys can see that we had our disagreements, and after actually realizing what Kris was saying, I was like, oh, that's what you're saying. Then I had the comparison. I was like, so what if students walk out of school if they don't support or they don't show as much attention to it? And um, yeah, it's coming to have a conversation and have a realization. This is your opinion, this is my opinion. But I think, you know, the leagues are doing as the league's players, not the leagues. The league's players are doing as much as they can to, one, take the focus away from sports and keep it on, the social injustice that is happening now, or the injustice that is happening now. And I do applaud them. Is it the league's duty? Most likely not. But should they? Yes. Now that we come
Just
to that
want
conclusion,
just want one more thing to,
yeah.
like, I just right now practically just kind of seeing what you got, throwing random stuff. What do you think if sports just end? This is it. Sports died August 2020.
I mean,
We are done. No more sports for the next year.
for the next year, or are we doing in perpetuity?
Please explain in perpetuity.
Forever.
Right now.
Sorry.
Thank you for using third grade level words with me.
Forever.
Whew, I was like, when you said that word, I was like, oh my God, what does
Kris,
he
you're
say?
older than me.
I guess I think you're 22,
22.
22. So I'm 4 years, about 4 years older than Micah, and I
You were
don't
a
know that
senior
word.
when I was a freshman.
Look, I may not be super smart, which I'm getting my master's degree at this moment.
Oh, God.
I don't know how I got in. I don't know how I passed high school,
Oh, God.
but I did. I'm here.
All right. Your question was
But
if sports were end for a year,
I don't know. It's, let's say, indefinite for now.
indefinitely.
How would that trickle down to
I mean,
an average Joe?
for an average person that watches sports.
Well, it's not average persons watch sports. You gotta think. So sports are gone. That's a whole business gone.
Okay.
So you and me have worked in sports. This is our dream to work in sports.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta find other jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's being competitive for that office duty right there when you're working as the administration person.
Mhm.
And now that's it. What do you do when you go home? You watch your CBS drama show.
Well, I mean, I play video games. I stream. I mean, that's not an option for everyone. But I think I would just try to grow myself as a YouTuber more. That's me. For probably like the average person that lost their job, they would probably have. I mean, if you have a degree in business or if you maintain, you maintain your strategies. Your what's the word? If you maintain your practices of business, I think you can go into any different business that you want to. It's just you're gonna have to maintain those practices that you had in that particular sector. In this sector, it's this particular moment, it's sports, and you're gonna have to put it into some other business. But for me myself, I think I would just promote myself as a YouTuber and try to do it that way because video games are still going to be a thing. Uh, Vlogging outside traveling is still going to be a thing. So yeah,
How
sports
would this work with the youth? That's where like the big
at
thing
the youth
is.
and
Well, you took away youth
you took
sports
away
almost
one thing. Um,
because sports like, oh, my now favorite player, like this young little kids, like, oh, I loved watching LeBron James play basketball. That's why I play. Or somebody
oh,
saying, oh, Serena Williams, like that's why I started playing tennis. Michael Phelps because swimming.
I mean, if sports is still going to be there, I mean, you can still practice it.
But
It's gonna
now
be
that drive, like the person you idolize, you try to copy their
Kobe
thing.
Bryant's gone. That doesn't mean that any other player is going to stop idolizing him.
Well, there's no more playing, at least in the high level. When you get to high school and college, it's done. So would people train as hard to work in sports then?
And I think that's just a perception of who you're trying to strive for. Are you trying to strive for being someone better than, or someone that's 20 years older than you and probably a thousand times better than you? Or are you
Hey,
striving to be?
I could be LeBron James
Yeah, anyone could
101.
be LeBron James, but can you be better than yourself?
No. So I had to make that joke.
But yeah, I don't. I think it. Yeah, like strive to be someone else, but also strive to be
So would
someone
people
better
now
than you in 10
focus
years.
then on being the next Elon Musk,
Yeah, the next
Dr.
best entrepreneur,
King,
next best speaker.
uh,
My God, I had a
Jim
flashback
Joshua.
of another podcast. Yeah, I think we're getting way out of hand on this.
I know we are. This thing of social change is a big thing for this country, and people think it's going to change overnight.
It's not.
It's going to be decades, maybe
Yeah.
centuries until everything's fixed.
Racism
The only
in
thing
general
that
has
you
been
could
happening
do
for
is
years
hope for the
or
next
longer.
generation
Sorry.
to be better.
Yeah.
Stuff that's already happened with people in this generation right now,
Mm-hmm.
it's tough to change. I know people say you can still change when you're in your 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough to break habits.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have to focus on the next generation. I feel like this is my own personal thing.
I like that.
Try for the next generation to do better than what your generation.
I like that.
But let's bring this into a more happier note at the end. The NFL hopefully is coming.
Hopefully, I have a list of players, top 10 free agents that are still not signed as of this moment. I kind of want to get your take, and then I also have the top or the first 5 picks of the NBA draft. So I think I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions a couple of questions. Is who do you think these players are gonna go to in the coming season? And you do that for me in the NBA draft. Yep. Aqib Talib.
Aqib Talib. It's a corner. Last played with, I want to say, the Rams. Let's see. That's a tough one.
Many people need an actual good corner.
I can't really think of a team that needs a good corner right now.
Suggested by the site that I took it off of. It says Cleveland Browns and New Orleans Saints. And I think the New Orleans Saints should be taken off.
Yeah, I'm going to say Saints don't need him. Browns could be a fit. I was actually going to take a team off the list. It was going to be The Seattle Seahawks.
Oh wow. They don't. Do they need a corner? I guess they need a corner.
I can't think of the secondary that much right now.
Okay.
I can think of a few players, but I feel like they are missing somebody in that secondary to lead them.
Okay.
And I think to lead is that person. After
Okay.
losing Sherman, what's the guy which used to be with Baltimore? I'm blanking on his name. We just talked about it in the last podcast.
Earl Thomas.
Or Thomas.
Yeah.
Cam Chancellor, I don't think he's on the team anymore.
Earl Thomas said that, or sources say that he might go to the Browns. Like there are talks about it. I'm like, wow.
Okay. So next player.
Next player, Tony Jefferson. Suggested Dallas Cowboys and Indianapolis Colts.
What position does Tony Jefferson play?
He is a safety.
I can see the Cowboys, yeah.
You see the Cowboys and not the Baltimore Ravens who – oh, wait, they only made, the semis, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the semis. Oh, okay, Cowboys. All right. Next is Edge Clay Matthews.
Clay Matthews.
Suggested is the Seahawks, the Titans, and the Jets. I don't think this man wants to go back east.
I was going to say east. I think the Jets could sign him, but him playing in California for the past few years, loving the California sun.
Mm-hmm.
I can see him with Seattle because Seattle is missing that edge rusher, losing Jaron Clowney. Well, they haven't lost him yet. He's still a free agent. And he'll probably be our number one player to talk about. So I'm going to go either Jets or Seattle with those.
Wow. Okay. All right. The next player is Falcons running back Devontae Freeman, and suggested are the Eagles and the Patriots.
Put my money right down the Patriots.
Damn.
Patriots lost a lot of players.
Cam?
With Cam.
Oh, my.
That team with Bill Belichick, don't miss them in the playoffs. You guys are going to still see them. Belichick is the brains of the Patriots organization.
Mm-hmm. All right. The next player, number 6, is Damon Harris, who is a defensive tackle. Suggested are the Bears and the Chargers.
Between those two teams, I'm going to go with Chicago.
Why?
Chicago.
Defensive team?
I feel like they do. I can't think of either of the teams. So I could say him like not even getting signed by a team.
Oh, damn.
I can't think of a team that needs a defensive tackle at this moment.
Okay. Next player is wide receiver Josh Gordon. Suggested are,
Not in the league.
He's not going to be?
I don't think so.
Ah, interesting.
I listed off the 49ers in the beginning of this pod, and they have been looking at wide receivers. They had no intention of Josh Gordon. They're a team that is looking in need of a wide receiver almost. But what teams is this list talking about?
Seahawks and the Packers.
If there is a team, I could say the Seahawks may look for a reunion again.
All right.
But that may be late in the season.
Free agent signing like by the playoffs.
Playoffs or week 7 because one of the wide receivers went down.
Yeah.
Like DK Metcalf gets injured.
Don't you ever say that about my boy.
I'm not a Seahawks fan.
I like the kid. I like the kid.
Okay. Yes, he is raw talent that Seattle has molded into a beautiful wide receiver.
Next player is Eric Reed, and suggested teams are the Niners and the Ravens.
No, I can see him leading the charge in Baltimore.
Yeah, I think they need.
San Francisco is a place that he started his career off. San Francisco has been in talks and needs safety, but what I've heard from the 49ers with Kyle Shanahan, they have not been looking at the safety position, and they feel like they have enough in-house to cover that position.
Okay. Next player is everyone's love.
Oh, God.
Number 1 is Antonio
God.
Brown. Projected.
How much time do we have left in this podcast?
I don't know.
That's too much talk. Too much time to talk about this guy.
Seattle.
Next.
DB Logan Ryan suggested Colts and Giants.
I can't think of the DB race right now.
Really?
Let's see. Logan Ryan, he was a good corner with Tennessee. I remember watching a few of his games. I'm so surprised he hasn't been picked up. So there's got to be something else going on there. I can see the Colts sign him between those two teams you've listed.
Okay. And the last one is Jadeveon Clowney.
He got to bring his price tag down to sign with one of these clubs.
What is his yearly?
He wants to be making at least $20 million a year.
You're a fucking idiot. You think you're gonna, as a defensive end?
Yep.
You ain't no goddamn Von Miller.
No, he has the talent to be Von Miller, but he hasn't showed it yet.
Nope. All right. I think it's my turn. Do you have?
I don't know which Klein is going to go. He's going to be in the so random of a spot that it's not even on this list.
Well, the suggested is the Seahawks, the Browns, and the Raiders. I don't think the Raiders need any linemen now. The Browns do.
Browns do. We talked about them with somebody else.
Yep.
But I feel like he's just going to go with some random team that we're not even talking about. They said like, "Oh, the season's about to stop. We'll give you $5 million for this season," and he's
God.
"Fine."
I just want to play now.
Tampa Bay.
Oh God.
I know.
No. No.
Yeah, I know.
Then Brady would have a fucking defense.
I know. That's why I said it.
All right. So for the NBA draft.
Okay, this is more.
Why don't you go through it? Why am I looking it up? Why don't you go through it?
Okay, so the NBA draft, we know the top 5 pick. Oh, not the top 5 picks, but we just had a lottery last week. And if I could pull it up.
Oh, let me ensure then.
I'm sorry, this is taking so long.
Well, the top 5 picks, the first 5 picks are the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Golden State Warriors, the Charlotte Hornets, the Chicago Bulls, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. There's been like different orders of the same 5. I put one person in 2 spots. I'm an idiot.
Okay, I'm looking at the top 5 NBA or the top 10. Let's go top 5 NBA prospects of this year.
Yeah, just go ahead
and
ask me.
So we have LaMelo Ball, the third Lamar brother. I'm going to go with him first. He was just right there. I saw his name.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think he's going to end up in do you think he's going to be the top 5?
I think he'll be in the top 5. He's not going to be the first pick, I think. I see him. I looked at all 5 of these teams, and I think Chicago with Zach LaVine, both 2 tall, lengthy guys that can both shoot, run the floor, kind of make their guys better. I think it's just a coaching staff that is probably going to be a problem, but I think he's going to Chicago at pick 4.
Okay. So I'm on this NBA draft prospects big board.
Yep, I see it.
Okay, so the number 1 player they say is Obi Toppin. I hope I pronounced his name.
Going to where?
Dayton.
Oh yeah, Dayton. Yeah.
6'9" power forward.
That's the one going to Chicago. That's the projected. Yeah.
He's projected to go to Chicago.
Okay.
Do you think he's going to land in Chicago or?
No, I think he might either go earlier. Not to Golden State, not to Minnesota, because they possibly to Minnesota, but I said Charlotte. I mean,
Charlotte.
Yeah.
And number 3. Okay. So the number 2 ranked prospect on this big board is Anthony Edwards, guard out of Georgia, 6'5".
Yeah, I think he's going number 1. Just watching him play, even though there are a lot of guards in Minnesota, but their point guard just went through their last year, I think.
Didn't they just get oh man, blanking on his team. This guy, he was just for the Warriors and Brooklyn. D'Lo,
D'Lo.
yes, thank you. You
D'Lo
stay in
is,
my head. I was
yeah, D'Lo is technically listed as a shooting guard, but I think both of them can be mixed between both are combo guards. This,
that'll be a team right there if they could
yeah,
get it going.
yeah. Anthony Edwards can drive. He's a very good slasher. He also can shoot too, but just that combo of inner switching between the guard and shooting guard between Anthony Edwards and D'Angelo Russell, I can see.
Okay, the number 3 ranked prospect is James Wiseman, center out of Memphis.
I said he's going to Golden State. 7 foot tall, can score a lot, can rebound a lot. Looks to be like the role player that Draymond Green can be. Um, but just a taller center, someone that can shoot, someone that can get to the ball, get to the hoop, someone that can rebound more often for them. I think it would be a great duo between both him and or James Wiseman and um, Draymond Green as it was between Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
Okay, so the 5th best prospect that this list has given me is, I'm sorry for butchering your name.
Oh, I know who he is. Yeah.
He's out of Villanova.
Oh, wrong person. I was thinking about. Wait, what?
Oh, you thinking of the guy from Southern California?
No, not Anyaku Kunchogi.
From Tel Aviv?
I don't want to say foreign kid, but the foreign kid, the overseas kid.
So I got a guy from Tel Aviv, Denny Advija.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, I can pronounce his name. I was talking about Sadiq.
What site are you on?
Sporting News.
Sporting News.
That's what the title is. They just
Sporting News NBA draft.
just put top
NBA
prospect.
mock draft. Nope.
It's not a mock draft. It's just the rank. This is a ranking from them.
Give me 2 seconds. I'll find it.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards going to the Warriors. God damn it. I knew it. Cavaliers, James Wiseman. Do not do a cap to Cleveland. Timberwolves, LaMelo Ball. I hate you. Isaac Okoro. Wait, who? What is his name? The kid you were just talking about?
Okay, so Sadiq Bey, shooting forward, Villanova.
Oh my god.
They talk about him being
Sadiq
a pure
Bey.
talent.
Okay.
Sadiq Bey, okay. As we know, Chris's vocabulary is not that great.
Enunciation, not vocabulary.
Well, I didn't know what you said about that forever word was. I don't even know what it is.
What?
It means forever, or it definitely.
Perpetuity.
Thank you. Never heard that word. I've probably heard that word before.
Well, on this one, it says he's ranked to go 16th, Sadiq Bey.
Oh.
And yeah, I don't know.
So this is just the top prospect. So who do you have going 5? Because we talked about
going number 5.
Number 1 was
number 1 for me is Anthony Edwards. Number 2 is James Wiseman.
Was James Wiseman. Number 3 was
Obi
Toppin. Number 4
is LaMelo
Ball. And number 5.
Number 5, honestly, I think it's gonna go to Denny Avdija. Honestly.
Denny Avdija. Guy out of Tel Aviv.
He's like he's kind of like Luka-ish, but he's a forward instead of a guard. But he can move. Like he's, as it says like right here, the 19-year-old would add some additional scoring punch and basketball IQ to the roster. That I watched some of his highlights. He looks like a younger LeBron James. I shouldn't even say that. I'm trying to think of other small forwards.
If you're listening to this, you didn't see my face just drop right here. I mouth open, wide-eyed.
Obviously, Zion Williamson is the next LeBron James, but I can't think of a
face.
Forward. But okay. Like he just plays super quick. He can shoot. He can. I don't know. But I don't think Cleveland would get him. But I think he's like the number 5 player to go. If someone could trade up for him, please. I think it would be in your best value to do so.
All right. And I have one final question about your top 5. Do you think, or how many teams do you think is going to trade out of the top 5? Out of the 5 that right now we have Minnesota, Golden State, Charlotte, like a number 4. I think. What?
I say 2.
You say 2? Okay.
I think Cleveland will trade out, and possibly Charlotte. I think.
Okay. Well, you heard it here first. Micah is predicting 2.
Let me just say my reasoning. 1, there's so much more big men on top. There's so much more big men past the top 5, and the 3 that there are 2 of the guards that are going in the top 5 are just LaMelo and Anthony Edwards. There's so many more bigs within this class, and that's what I like about the NBA draft. You can either go super big or you can go super small with your draft class, and this one just pertains to be a lot of big men within this class. So yeah.
Sounds good. Well, if there's no other breaking news at this moment, again, I'm Kris.
I'm Micah, and we'll see you guys next time. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. Go down to the comments, show some love, or have your own takes on each of the topics that we bring up today. With that, we'll see you next time. See ya.
Love you guys.